Let's go to southeastern Wisconsin. Chris. What's going on, Chris? How are you?
I'm good. Hey, Jim, I'm really glad you kicked off the show with some octagon beef between Usman and Masvidal. But I think we have something we could get scheduled and settled much quicker. What once appeared to be a well-oiled machine and cohesive unit now seems to be infiltrated by fame, jealousy, and ego. From my vantage point, the bros behind the glass all seem to be pretty solid guys. Yet sometimes it's human nature that sudden, unexpected success can cause jealousy and infighting. And in this case, the bigger the head, the bigger the ego. All the XR4TI dudes currently have a side hustle, with the exception of Ritt, who I believe would have his Social Security bennies cut if he worked more than Thursdays for Alvin. I know you don't pay him for the other 4 days, considering he sits in the bleacher seats and plays the air drums coming in and out of break. I'm assuming those days are volunteer hours. And although Hawk is a great dude, I'm sure his occasional over-the-top hipster guy look, Mr. Rogers cardigans, fad diets, etc., might annoy his colleagues at times. But it appears James Kelly is feeling himself just a little too much. The flight dork goes on a heater for a few months, parlays that into his own segment every week, and suddenly he cops this enormous ego and treats Hawk like total horse bleep. James has now called Hawk out numerous times, saying he doesn't like him and wants to give him the hands. So let's do this. Get them in the jungle octagon. My coin is on Hawk all day. He's a lock. I would bet my crib and luxury sled on the Pidge. His opponent, that linguini-armed gambler that works 1 day a week, has zero chance. Imagine Hawk stepping into the ring, co-sponsored by Sports Apparel Kingpin, Nation Golf Company, and probably some startup wizard cabbage delivery service. And in the other corner is the deck, with South Point Sportsbook scribbled in enormous letters on his forehead. Once the bell rings and they touch gloves, it wouldn't be long before Adam would take James straight to the mat and work his ground and pound game, knocking the living snot out of Flight Deck. Herb Dean would be forced to step in and stop the bout. Lastly, clones, mark my words. Soon, the Deck's heater will end as fast as it started. Jump off that train now and start going oppo. Everybody knows the house always wins. It's not a matter of if, just a matter of when. And when that happens, the Big Head Bet segment will be jettisoned faster than bleep through a goose. War the undercard being Matt in L.A. as a heavy favorite. I got him at minus 280 money line. The future Cali Governor Silkinson. It's a dynasty, clones!
Wow, dude. It might be a dynasty. That was so good. Rack him, Alvy. His streak is intact. I think that's like 30 calls in a row that he's made that got racked. And a definite lock and a factor for the smack off whenever we announce that date. Chris in southeastern Wisco, this is why I'll bust the format open for the right call. That's the right call. The only thing about Ritt v. Hawk and what would happen if the two of them got in the cage, it really depends on the rules. If headbutts are allowed, Hawk is dead. He will die. Have you seen James Kelly's head? Hence the Flight Deck loss. It's huge. If headbutts are allowed, Hawk's not surviving that thing. However, to his point, you've got James Kelly and his linguini arms and gigantic head. I don't know, man. I would not judge that book by its cover. You don't know. You do not know. What a great telephone call. I'm glad I interrupted my thought because, frankly, what I'm about to say is good, but I'll own this. It may not be as good as that. Probably it is, but it's going to be close. That's how good that call was.